Welcome to Law and Life, the Levoritz Approach.
Welcome to Law and Life, the Levoritz Approach with attorney Yonatan Levoritz. Yoni is the founder of Levoritz Law Firm and is recognized for his exceptional skill in family law, his compassionate manner, and his commitment to achieving favorable outcomes for his clients. My name is Kevin Rosenquist. In today's episode, we're talking about legal protections for survivors of domestic violence. Yoni, welcome back.
Thank you for having me, Kevin.
So what are the legal protections that are available in New York for someone experiencing domestic violence?
There are two primary lines of defense. Both involve orders of protection. One is a criminal order of protection, and one is a civil order of protection issued by the family court, which could result in criminal charges if someone violates it, but in general, it's a civil order of protection.
So can you kind of unpack that a little bit and talk about the difference between the two?
Let's talk about the criminal order of protection for a moment. The criminal order of protection, the district attorney brings the charges, the district attorney prosecutes the charges, and the district attorney proves the charges beyond a reasonable doubt. In the civil order of protection, you make the allegations, you go to family court, a judge or a referee hears the case, and then at that point in time, they decide what type of order of protection you should be awarded. There are two primary types, a limited order of protection and a full order of protection. A full order of protection means you have to stay away from the person, not talk to the person, not be near the person. A limited order of protection allows you to have some communication.
For instances, probably where you're co-parenting or something like that, I would imagine.
Well, that could be with either one of the orders of protection, but you don't have to get out of your house immediately, like running like it's on fire.
Okay.
Okay, with the stay away order of protection, you get served, you got to get out immediately.
Okay.
With a limited order of protection, you can hang around, but it's kind of dangerous.
Yeah. Okay. So with the criminal one though, what is that? How does that differ? What is that? I'm imagining obviously you can't go anywhere near the person in that scenario too, right?
Well, and again, it depends if it's a limited or a full order of protection. Criminal courts can issue both as well.
Ah.
But the violation of the order of protection, just like the family court, could result in incarceration.
Why would someone choose one over the other? What are the factors?
You don't necessarily have to choose one over the other. You could do them both simultaneously. And it's actually good to do them simultaneously because while a district attorney has control of a criminal case, you have control over the civil case. Therefore, you could decide how to prosecute it, what evidence, what documents, what text messages. You make that decision. With a criminal order of protection, the district attorney makes those decisions, and they decide how to charge.
And how long do these usually last?
Depends upon the case. Could last a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years.
Can domestic violence allegations affect custody and visitation rulings?
Absolutely. It's the one factor that's mentioned by the legislature, where the legislature says domestic violence has to be considered with regard to custody and visitation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Is that something that, because obviously there's, people that will pretend, will make false allegations against somebody. So if someone has false allegations against them and someone's trying to keep them from their kids, what recourse do they have in that situation?
There are a couple of things they can do. In my practice, what I do is I commence an action for abuse of process, which is a civil lawsuit saying, or fraud upon the court, okay, which basically says you lied, okay, and you're perverting the process of the family court. You're perverting the process of the criminal court. So you have civil remedies. The other thing you could do is defend yourself to the hilt in terms of the allegations being made against you, which, yes, in many cases are false.
Yeah, I'm certainly not trying to victim shame or anything like that, but it does happen fairly often where someone will falsely accuse somebody of that, whether they're upset or something like that. If someone does feel that they're falsely accused and they come to you, what does generally that process look like?
Civil lawsuits.
It is civil.
In addition to the fact that we go after the order of protection, we go after what's going on with it. We shoot to the roots of it.
And how does the court ensure a fair hearing when there are safety concerns involved?
Courts err on the side of caution. They're very difficult to beat, these cases.
Really?
Sometimes the allegations are just way far off, in terms of being almost imaginary in nature. Everything from rape to other issues are being accused. You're being accused of lots of these issues. It's very difficult to disprove some of these things.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. If an order is enacted and someone wants to appeal that decision, can they do that?
A final order, yes. A temporary order, no.
Oh, okay.
So you're stuck with it. You got to figure out how to defend it. You got to go into the facts. You got to go into the text messages. You got to go into everything that happened and figure out how to defend the petition.
How do you and your firm help support survivors through the legal process while still obviously prioritizing safety?
We hold their hands. We walk with them through the process. We make sure that the allegations are provable. We make sure that the allegations are demonstrable. We try not to engage in he said, she said unless it's absolutely necessary because there is no evidence.
Mm-hmm.
We thoroughly vet the clients before going into court.
Mm-hmm. What kind of evidence are you generally looking for?
Text messages, audios, videos, anything to support it.
Mm-hmm. What about friend testimony, family testimony, child testimony? Does any of that stuff come in?
Especially in order of protection cases, children testify. They have to testify. If they were seen as, if they saw the domestic violence, they have to testify. Yes.
Wow, that's got to be kind of crazy to try to get a kid on the stand, huh?
It's very traumatic, and I try and avoid it at all costs.
How do you prep a child for something like that?
That's up to the child's lawyer. That's not my job.
Okay, yeah, you don't represent children in those cases, then.
Nope, they have their own lawyers.
So for a criminal orders of protection, excuse me, those last, is it the same? It can last anywhere from a year to 2 years to 3 years, depending?
Depends upon the criminal charge.
Mm-hmm.
Depends if there are aggravating circumstances. You took a knife to someone's throat, you got an aggravating circumstance.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah.
What advice do you give to anyone listening who might be in a situation where they feel they need to take legal action against somebody in these scenarios?
What they have to do is that they have to build their case. They have to look for their proof, look for their evidence, not rely upon I told my neighbor or I disclosed to someone. They need something specific. They need to set the other person up with a text message saying, you abused me, you did this to me, you did that to me, and wait for the response.
Okay.
If it's not a denial, if it's a justification, which happens in many cases,
mm-hmm.
Okay, you're in a good position.
What about hospital records, anything like that? Does that come into play?
Sure. If it's something that happened, absolutely. Yes, it comes into play.
What is the best way for you, for someone to be prepared to go into a situation with you? Just make sure you have that evidence, make sure you have everything, all your ducks in a row. Anything else they should be aware of?
They should be aware that it's a traumatic circumstance and that this is going to lead to an addition to their already traumatic situation. The system is not kind.
What do you mean by that?
It's designed to find the truth. It's not designed to coddle a person who was a victim of domestic violence.
I see what you're saying. So while it's a very difficult subject, the law has to still be sort of emotionless.
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. Definitely heavy stuff. All right. Well, thanks for joining us on Law and Life, the Levoritz Approach. To contact Yoni or learn more, visit LevoritzLaw.com. And for more insights on navigating divorce and family law in New York, don't forget to subscribe, leave us a review, check out our past episodes. Yoni, always great chatting with you. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button and leave us a review in the comments.